Hello, my loves. How are you? So I was in the middle of packing. I got guided to take a break and make some coffee and eat a snack. And then I just felt super inspired to come on and just open up. I think the biggest part is just feeling sort of the old cycles ending and the new beginning. I did the Shaman Dream deck. Whoa. All right. So Shaman Dream Deck apparently really came forward that it wanted to talk, and here we go. Wow. Okay. So we got the perfect storm, courage to step into life with the Raven. This is significant for so many reasons, but I'm very acutely aware of that heart activation, the lightning, the symbolism of the raven, the crow. And like I've said before, it's like the peacock, that magical energy. What's coming through to me is where those internal union energies are really, 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 really igniting very significantly. And this is having a massive ripple effect in the collective. Wow. Okay. I am guided to actually, because this is internal union energies, excuse my shaking. And this is card number 44, by the way. I'm gonna pull some messages for the masculine and the feminine. I'm gonna use my light seers deck and I'm gonna, well, two different ones for both. Okay, who's coming first? I feel both so significantly. This is the masculine coming through first. I'm guided to pick three, and then I'm guided to pick three from the feminine, and then I'll share. Just roll with me. Something like wants to play off each other. Whoa. Okay. All right. So with this perfect storm coming in the heart, and I told you it was number 44, the first card for the masculines is this Four of Pentacles. I feel like this is signifying where they held back in the heart space in the past. And this feels like in the current energy, there's this new beginning, this opening into the new beginning, and coming forward is into the near future is this hangman, a new perspective, right? This is interesting because I feel like a couple weeks ago, this sort of like opened and then it was like this going, this trust fall and then this new perspective. Wow. Okay. So to me, it's really like this opening and then this willingness to jump in and surrender. And then, like, really, what this feels like to me with the hangman is actually like this is the surrender energy. And this is like seeing the new perspective and then diving purposefully into the next steps and stages. So it is that combo of surrender and action is what's coming through from the masculine side. It does feel connected to where they once held their heart back. On the feminine side, in the recent past, the feminine was really focused on like planting seeds, right? And like really coming into the physical material world. She is currently in that deep process of receiving the fruits of her labor and what she's accomplished up to this point. It's interesting because the third card in the near future was the strength card. It flew off the deck onto the floor in the reversed position. And this is very interesting because look at where the masculine is headed with the hangman. So I also feel that the feminine is going to be having new perspectives around her strength. I also feel that regardless of how you identify, most of you are probably feeling a combo of all of these. Okay. That's what's coming through. It really feels like, ooh, like this deep, deep activation of the heart space internally, inner union, the shared space, and where the collectives are each working in their own. So it's like collective working in their own stream, individuals working in their own stream, and then the shared space of the counterparts, as well as the shared space of the collectives. And my sense is that some of you are holding space for all of the above with awareness. Some of you may just be focused on one part or a few parts. It's all perfect. Wherever you are guided, it's exactly where you're meant to be and exactly where you're needed because we each have our own unique keys, right? Wow. I do feel like if anybody wants to look up the Raven, I know that Raven and Crow is connected to magic and miracles. But just if you feel like dropping those in the comments, you're welcome to do that if you want to add to that, because it does feel significant. Okay. With that Hangman, the new perspective, and the Strength card in the new perspective, I'm actually guided to what? Yeah. Okay. The mystical shaman wants to come through for what is coming with this courage to step into life, this new beginning, the new perspective, even a new perspective on the strength, sort of a reversal of roles, but not in a bait and switch, more of like a strengthening into all of the internal union energies where we're harmonizing all of the inner union energies. And where is this leading? Love it. The mystical shaman. Okay. It's the mystical shaman deck, right? So to me, when the mystical shaman comes out, it's like that ultimate embodiment of the higher self with the human, where you're bridging and navigating the extremes in a tempered, harmonious way. And it feels that, wow. Okay. I do feel guided to read from the book. I apologize if I've done it before. I really can't remember. So, the mystical shaman, the essence. This is the symbol of the myth maker and the storyteller who is neither made of nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspects of it. In doing so, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between the worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in this world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is the symbol of true alchemy. For all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all matter of miracles and manifestations are possible. This is it. This is like dreaming into being, being in this world, but not of it, dreaming the new way into being the masculine and feminine co-creation, the internal embodiment, the external representation, really dropping and landing. And it feels really important that this is so much bigger than just a romantic partnership. This is about actually, truly embodying the ascended version of ourselves in physical form and building the true energy of Earth back to her rightful space, helping to support humanity in this energy of unity consciousness. You know, this is so much bigger than just a romantic connection, right? And in some cases, that might not even be present, but this is why, because it's not the main priority out of the gate. It's building the community, the unity, the friendship, the camaraderie, the reciprocity. We can't have a romantic relationship without that foundation in the true energy, right? So it's this rebuilding. When the mystical shaman appears, you're invited to consider the ability to live without attachment. You're called to create and dream your life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixation on a known story of success or achievement. Can you impartially observe the stories you tell yourself and others? What if you could become a mystery to yourself? Ah, we said the mystery and the magic. Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that you have defined, that have defined you up until now? You do not have to live a story that has roots in the past. This is this is so much the precipice of what I feel for the planet, for the collective, for those of us that have been working this process and moving into the new. What if there were no need to explain yourself to anyone, not even yourself? The way to your most extraordinary life is to become a blank slate and allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as it will. This is a sign of manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. This is why the internal union energies are the key to unlocking everything that you want. When you are embracing all of the aspects of yourself and utilizing the mirrors that have been presented to you, a twin flame initiation, a divine counterpart initiation, whatever form of initiation that's been presented to you, a shadow partnership, a karmic relationship, every single thing that's been in your life has been an opportunity for you to grow, to use that mirror and to evolve into the next levels of who you are meant to be. You get to build it, consciously create it as you allow yourself to walk through that transformation into the new beginning. But that piece of coming into internal union is how you build unity with others. Union and partnership, divine union, sacred union. Without that foundation of internal union, without the capacity to hold yourself, how are you supposed to do that with anyone else? Right? So the key piece is it's a process, it's an ongoing process. But if you're not feeling fully in those energies just yet, that is okay. That is the process. That is how we get to those next steps and stages. This is how we continue to evolve. And what I can tell you from myself in truth is this is the path I continued to follow. The steps of what were in front of me, not projecting onto others, not attaching to needing things to be a certain way, but continuing to put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, choosing to follow my heart, right? And embody into what it is that I was being guided to do, surrendered to the higher power, and at the same time, taking action-oriented steps from that higher guidance, right? The internal union energies. This is how you co-create in the true energies, asking for the highest alignment, not trying to force things or push things or attach yourself to things that aren't actually where you're meant to be, releasing those old attachments and allowing yourself to truly trust fall into what is truly for you. And as you build that muscle, and as you continue to build that muscle, the steps will unfold. And if you're not there at this moment, that's okay. If you find yourself frustrated, that's actually part of the process. It's all okay. If you feel frustration, I encourage you to pan out, take a deep breath, and ask to see a new perspective. It doesn't mean what you've been doing is wrong up until this point. It means you're ready to see more. The eagle eye perspective, the raven perspective, right? Allowing yourself to open up to a deeper embodiment of those internal union energies, your higher self, your human self, inner feminine, inner masculine, inner child, and any other aspect that wants to come home and be integrated. Because the truth is when you can embrace all of it, the shadow, the light, and you can hold it and be all of it and be comfortable with it and understand that it is all okay and that you're going to keep learning. And that is what life is about. That is when things really, really, really begin to shift. And when you can hold those internal union energies for yourself and stop putting yourself into any form of any box where you do not fit, embrace the labels for what they are, but release the attachments if they start to suffocate you. You feel me? Allow yourself to truly be all of who you are. You're a higher being in human form, and I love you. And you're here for a very beautiful and important reason, because your soul knows that this is where you are needed and wanted and where you're meant to be. All right, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a beautiful day. We're going through lots of transformation, and I'm here for it. I'll see you soon, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care.